When the police finished their investigation, they decided to press charges against Liza. The evidence of forgery and making a false accusation was just too clear for them to ignore. They wrote up their report and presented it to the court, and Liza was formally charged with giving false information and trying to frame her husband. When Jacoby heard about this, he was absolutely heartbroken. He couldn't believe that his wife, the woman he had traveled all the way from Nigeria to find, was now facing prison because of him. He went to the police and begged them to drop the case. With tears in his eyes, he said, "Please, officers, I don't want to press charges against her. She is still my wife, and I still love her. I came here to find her, not to destroy her life. Please don't let this case continue." The police officers looked at him with pity, but there was nothing they could do. One of them explained, "Sir, we understand how you feel, but this is America. The case is no longer in your hands. It's a case between Liza and the government now." Liza was taken to court. On the day of her hearing, she looked tired and broken. Her face was dull, and her eyes were swollen from crying so much. As she stood in the courtroom, she could see her husband, Jacoby, sitting quietly at the back, just watching her. When the judge asked her to speak, she said, "I am sorry. I made a mistake. I was afraid of losing the man I love. I didn't know it would go this far." But her apology couldn't change the law. The judge found her guilty and sentenced her to a few weeks in jail. The moment the judge announced the sentence, Liza burst into tears. She cried out, "Please, Your Honor, have mercy. I am not a bad person. I just wanted my freedom." But it was too late. The police took her away immediately. Jacoby followed them quietly, not wanting her to feel abandoned. Even though she had betrayed him, his heart was still full of love for her. For all the weeks that Liza was in jail, Jacoby visited her constantly. He brought her food and tried to talk to her, but she refused to say a single word. She would always just look away whenever he tried to speak. One day, sitting across from her at the glass barrier, he pleaded, "Liza, please, talk to me. I still love you. I have forgiven you. I know you acted out of confusion. Please, let's just talk about what we'll do when you come out. I'm not angry anymore." But Liza remained silent. She wouldn't even lift her eyes to look at him. Deep down, she was drowning in shame. She couldn't believe that the very man she betrayed was still showing her so much love. She felt trapped in guilt and pain and had no idea how to respond. Meanwhile, Robert, the white man who had promised to marry her, found out what happened. One of his friends told him everything. "Hey, do you know that woman you wanted to marry is in jail?" The friend said she was arrested for trying to frame her husband. The story is all over the internet. Robert was shocked. He couldn't believe it. He thought Liza had traveled to Nigeria to process her divorce, not to fake reports and get her husband thrown in jail. He sat for hours, just thinking about what to do. Finally, he made up his mind. He was going to visit her in jail. When Robert walked into the jail and Liza saw him, she was completely surprised. She never expected to see him again. "Robert," she said softly. "You came to see me." He just nodded. "Yes, I came, but not for the reason you think." A flicker of hope appeared in her eyes. "Please, don't leave me," she said. "You are the only one I have left. Everyone has turned their back on me. Please, Robert, I need you." But his face remained serious and cold. "Liza, I heard everything," he said. "You tried to frame your husband just because you wanted to be free. That's not love. That's wickedness." Tears filled Liza's eyes as she tried to explain herself. "Robert, please, I didn't mean to harm him. I was desperate. You said you wouldn't marry me unless I divorced him. I didn't know what else to do. I was scared you would leave me." Robert just shook his head. "No, Liza. You could have done things the right way. You could have gone back to Nigeria and divorced him properly. But instead, you chose lies and false accusations. What you did was evil. You don't frame a man who did nothing wrong just to get your way. That's not right." He leaned closer to the glass and continued, "As much as I wanted to marry you, I cannot continue with this relationship. You've shown me that you'll do anything to get what you want. I can't live with that kind of fear. What if one day You wake up angry and do to me what you did to your husband. I can't trust you, Liza. You seem like a dangerous person. It's over between us." And with that, Robert left. Watch out for episode 10.